You have a business and you're making taxable supplies. But when you have to take the GST registration. So GST registration procedure, I'm going to explain as 3 modules. This is part 1 of GST registration. So what is GST registration? GST registration, in this module I'm going to tell you about the basic information. What does that mean by getting GST registration? Then what is the difference between compulsory registration and mandatory registration? So let us go into the details of part 1 of GST registration video. So GST registration is compulsory and it's some cases it's voluntary. So GST registration, when you have the business, when you're doing taxable supplies, as per the requirements of the GST Act, you have to take the registration number. It's a 15-digit number, and when you will register, you will get like an identification number. You are using this number for your return filing, GST payment, claiming input tax credit, getting the information about your business, like everything. It's like your birth certificate for an individual. Once you have to remember, when you're taking GST registration, you're required to follow all the compliance. You're coming under the compliance of GST requirements. That meaning you have to follow all the rules and regulations which will come in your way. Now, why GST registration we have to learn as a student? You may become a professional, tax professional, or a business person, or an entrepreneur, or you will take up a career related to taxation or finance. Then GST registration is, you will come across GST registration, and this topic is not important from the examination point of view. This is important from the practical point of view. So when you want to become an entrepreneur also, if you know the basics, this knowledge will help you. Now, what is compulsory registration? Most of the people think that registration is based only on turnover. It's not on basis of turnover. Aggregate turnover, nature of supply, the state or union territory you belong, if you belong to any special category. So these points will consider on the basis of registration of any business. So usual threshold limit for normal business is 40 lakh aggregate turnover. Special category states is 20 lakhs. For service providers, it is 20 lakh for normal states and 10 lakh for special category states. So if your turnover is coming within this aggregate limit, you have to compulsorily take the registration. Now, what is voluntary? So voluntary registration, even if your turnover is not coming within the aggregate limit, you can take voluntary registration. But you have to remember that if you're taking voluntary registration, you have to follow the GST compliance. So voluntary registration and compulsory registration, you are coming in the GST compliance. So GSTIN, it is called GSTIN, that is the 15-digit number that will give you a separate identity as a business person or a business organization. But that will make you with the compliance with the GST requirements. That is about the registration of GST business or the registration you are taking for GST.